work done helps also, is that like, so let's reverse that situation that you call me and I can't talk because I have the kids and everyone's everywhere, whatever. But I feel like, oh my gosh, Chanie's calling me. She has a problem. She needs to talk to me about something. I have to fix it. I can't just leave her dry and high. Like, I have to take care of her. I have to talk to her. But what am I supposed to do? What does the world want from me? Like, I have my kids and I have to do dinner and I'm in the middle of this and I have this class to prepare. And like, doesn't she know? Like, doesn't she get it that I'm busy and that I have a life, but like she has this problem? What am I supposed to do? Like, obviously, if she called me, I have to talk to her. So what am I going to do? I'm going to ignore my kids to talk to you, be resentful at them for interrupting me, be resentful at you for being on the phone so that I have to be resentful at them for interrupting me. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to them. Most importantly, I'm not listening to myself. And I end up, what do I end up doing? After you talk for, you know, half an hour telling me the same thing over and over again because I'm not listening and I'm resentful and I'm giving you maybe bad advice.
I'm so glad we never do this anymore.
I know. This is very long time ago, everyone. You know, after that half an hour, I end up being like, gosh, can't, you know, something rude and mean with the energy of, can't you just figure out your problems on my own? You're ruining my life with your problems. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just spent all this time pouring out your guts to me, trying to get me to hear you. And then the end of it is, why do you even tell me in the first place? I don't even care. Goodbye. It's so hurtful. And I lost out on meaningful connection with you, meaningful connection with my kids, and meaningful connection with me versus, yeah, I'm not very available and I don't have a lot of time. That is the life of a mother who has young kids. Well, especially a mother like me who's like crazy obsessed with being present with my kids.
You're very good at it.
I don't have time for people, but that's my choice. Also, that's my choice. That's the type of mother I want to be, and I love it. And that's and I have permission to do that. And nobody's problems in the world can take away that choice from me. And that comes with the foundation of me trusting other people.
Yeah.
I trust that whoever's calling me with whatever issue, I don't have to fix it. And I trust that they'll be okay. Like being able to say, I have 10 minutes and then 10 minutes are over and the other person's sobbing and they're right in the middle. You know, maybe my heart is like, wow, I really want to give them a few more minutes. I can say, hang on a second. Let me see if I can give you a few more minutes and go arrange it with the kids, arrange it with whoever. Or if I have to go, I could still go because I'm not scared that I'm leaving them in this pain and now it's going to be over. I can say to them, hey, I know this is a really big moment. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much comfort, big hugs. You know, I have to go, but I love you. And you know, and thank you for sharing with me. Goodbye. Yeah. You know, and like, they'll cry, they'll be alone, they'll figure it out, they'll find someone else. I'm not God. A huge part of this is like, I'm not God. Like, and God sent me healing and comfort. Yeah.
Revelation.
and he can send them healing. Like what? I'm like so smart that I figured out recovery. I didn't figure out recovery. I was on the ground with my face in the mud and I was saved by, you know, by the grace of God. Like I found what I found and whatever. Like, so
I love that.
It's kind of egotistical to think that like I'm the only one that can save people and so I have to martyr my whole life in order to be there for them, which doesn't help them because they feel it. They feel that I'm martyring myself for them and they never feel like they're first class. They always feel like they're second class. And that's not true. I don't want anyone to feel like they're second class. I'd rather them not fly my plane.
Yeah, wow. That's so beautiful. I love everything you said. So the last thing, just to wrap up, even though we could talk forever, is I want to share, based on everything you're saying, on my end, you know, being somebody who always blamed myself and was always trying, I would get resentful too, which didn't feel good to the other person either, because I would give and give and give and give. The other person never asked, like, you never asked me to give. You never asked me to call you and ask you how you are every week. You never asked me to come and bring you dinner when you weren't doing well. And then you didn't do it for me. And then I felt very resentful. Like, why am I giving so much? Here I am giving so much and you're not giving it back. So what did I do? I thought maybe if I give more, maybe if I talk to you about it. But now I realize that taking care of myself is, you know, it's in a different way, but it's kind of the same theme of this is what the other person is giving me. What can I give or what can I not give in a way that honors myself? If I'm going to give and they're not going to give me back and I'm going to be hurt, that's my responsibility. That's my choice. I am responsible to take care of myself. I can't change anyone. I have to accept people for where they're at, which was hard for me because I didn't want to realize that these people are not giving to me. So I just kept giving as a way of escaping that pain. But because I stopped let's say you didn't call me for 3 months or whatever, I'm just making it up. And then suddenly you would want to call me and just talk to me without saying, how are you? Like, and I would feel used. I would say, I'm not available for support right now. So that's taking care of me instead of listening, feeling like, of course I want to give, I'm a good person, or I don't want to hurt your feelings. And then feeling like when I call you, you don't, after 3 months, you don't pick up the phone. So I think for me, my healing has been like, it's not selfish of me to honor myself and my feelings. And again, like you said too, if the other person is hurt or they don't like it, or that's theirs to take care of. Because I also felt responsible, like this heaviness and of, you know, how could I hurt anybody else? Like, I'm a bad person. And what I'm realizing is, and I feel like what we both realize is, we are people too. And we matter too. This is the body that I live in. I don't live in anyone else's body. So my responsibility is to take care of myself and my heart and my body. And when I do that, that's the only time I'm able to show up with my heart. Maybe I end up, you know, maybe I end up saying no more often. Maybe I'm not able to be there all of the time. But the times that I are actually meaningful and loving and kind and connecting, as opposed to never really being there for anyone because I'm not there for myself. And I think I'd love to hear your takeaway, but I think my takeaway from the conversation and why I think we have such a connected relationship now is because you know that you're responsible for yourself and I'm responsible for myself. You know, I know that it's my responsibility to give what I can and what I can't. And and I think one of the reasons why I was able to do that is because I've learned that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. And when I notice that somebody isn't emotionally available or isn't around or isn't communicating or isn't really listening, it's so uncomfortable to realize that. But because I have the support by my side, you know, whether it be with therapy or my journal or just the way that I've learned to really honor my feelings, I know that I can survive the discomfort. Before, I was able to survive it when I didn't have the skills to be able to sit through the discomfort. I couldn't not give. I couldn't realize you weren't available to me. I couldn't not blame myself, because if I blame myself, I have control over changing myself and changing the situation. But now I know that I don't have control, which really hurts, because I have to accept relationships and people for where they're at, which means honoring myself, which doesn't always feel the best because it means I'm facing sometimes sad realities. But I think in the long run, that's the only way to show up without resentment, with kindness, being able to say things from my heart, you know, giving from my heart, for you, you know, saying it from your heart. And I mean, we all have a little bit of everything, but I think that's the main thing. So what would be your takeaway if you have anything to share from the conversation?
I don't know. It's hard to say a takeaway. I think that the one thing maybe that I'll add is that where the knowing that I have permission to not take care of the whole world and to listen to myself moved into an actual way that I was able to live with was through very deep healing that happened from core beliefs that I can only survive and I will only survive in this world if I am of use to other people, because I don't actually belong here, and I don't actually have a right to breathe or be alive or be in anyone's space. But if I'm of service to them, and if I'm of use to them, if they need me for their life, then I can live in their space. Then I can borrow their air because I'm doing a service for them. So there was a very, very deep seated belief that I had to find a way to take care of everyone's needs in order to breathe their air, because I had none of my own and I would die if I didn't have my own air. So I think that just like maybe, I don't know, hopefully, you know, someone out there is listening to this and needs to hear this, like unlearning that core belief and learning a new one of like, actually I have my own air, that I'm here and I'm allowed to be here and I have a right to be here as much as anyone else. I am absolutely like a very valid citizen of this planet, like, and nobody could take that away from me. Like, and that came from, you know, the recovery work I did, and on top of that, the nurtured heart, the way of seeing my greatness, standing in my light. The more I've owned who I am, taken up space, been proud of who I am, shown up in the world, the more I don't feel any level of threat and pressure about other people taking up space because we all have our own hair. It's okay. So.
Remember in our last live, you stood up and clapped for me? That's what I feel like doing now, but I'm not as I'm not as daring as you, so I'm not going to, but
thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And yeah, and I just have so much love for you, and I'm so glad that we are connected now. I learned so much from you, and yeah, thank you so much, Mussi, for having this conversation with me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And also, just to share another example,
giving me another chance in your life.
I'm glad I did. Another example of your direct honesty. When we were doing this live today, you're like, I'll do it, but I don't know how much time I have. Like, my daughter's napping, and like, I just might not, instead of like, yeah, sure. And then in middle being like, oh, like, you in advance, let me know. So I just appreciate that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like, everybody's needs matter. We're important. Our hearts are important. It's okay to say no. It's okay to, and we can say no with kindness and directness and with our hearts and with compassion. And like you said, saying, I have to go, but hugs, and I love you and I care about you, instead of like, I don't have time for you.
Yeah, like it's your
whatever we
fault
say,
that it's your fault that I'm here this long, and
whatever. Yeah, whatever we say, like whatever we do, it's our responsibility. No matter what we say, we can say with kindness. When we show ourselves kindness by knowing that we're responsible for ourselves and we love ourselves, that's when we have the capacity to show up with kindness and love for other people, because we can only give what we have, which I always say.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad that, I'm so glad that we both have that love now, that we're every day. I know every day we listen to our hearts and build on that love and tap into that love to help us continue. And sometimes for me, like when I see the old patterns coming back, or when I'm people pleasing, or when I'm feeling resentful or whatever, we were just talking about this before this live, time to tap back in and fill ourselves up with love, instead of time to try harder with them, time to go within and build my own love, because it's a sign and a signal when my old patterns are coming up that I need more self-care.
Oh my God.
Instead of,
I mean, it's so freeing. I'm just filled with so much joy and gratitude that I have the freedom to take care of myself and say no to things, like whether it's saying no to cleaning my house, even though I really need to, saying no to other humans, or saying no to like responsibility, whatever. Like, I just could take care of me, and like I don't have to do anything. It's like, it's so freeing.
It is.
It's like being in perpetual vacation. Like, I feel like
totally
the richest in the world, and I don't really have so much money, but it never feels like that.
You told me the other day you have 2 cents.
Actually, we found a dime the other day.
Wow. Impressive. Anyways,
really great. Yeah, this was beautiful. Hi, by the way, to the people that I know who are watching. I see Mushki, Alaska. I don't know if Ariel is still on, but, and Freedom Dancer.
Yeah. Hi everyone. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I have to go, but sending you a hug, and I trust that you have feelings. I'm not responsible.
Thank you for not taking responsibility for me.
Hard, but we're feeling the discomfort.